Hello and welcome, friends, to our Introduction to Meditation Level 3 program. My name is Venerable Tarpa, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here. So I wanted to welcome back everyone to the SBT community. Of course, you know, SBT, the Secular Buddhist Tradition, is an international community dedicated to the study and practice of secular Buddhism and the timeless, wonderful wisdom of the Buddha. If you'd like, you can learn more about us from our website at sbtonline.org. This is our first class of our Level 3 program. Yay! And I'm excited to be here. In this course, we'll be continuing where we left off from our previous Meditation Level 2 program, with the aim of deepening your understanding and practice of meditation and mindfulness. This program is gradual and easy to follow, and I'll be guiding you step by step all through the course, holding your hand through the whole thing, making it super easy for everybody. The way the program works is our main class is taught each Saturday, and then you're encouraged to engage in daily meditations throughout the week. We'll be asking you to commit to a twice-a-day meditation schedule for the program. The duration of each meditation can be between 20 and 40 minutes, depending on your abilities. If you remember, in programs 1 and 2, we asked for between 10 and 20 minutes. Here, we're going to challenge it a little bit longer, but of course, please gauge it for yourself. You shouldn't be stressing yourself or putting a lot of tensions on the body. Do what you can. You could possibly start with 20 minutes, and maybe by the end of our 5-week program, you're up there around 40 minutes or so. I hope everybody had a chance to familiarize yourselves with the program text, which is Introduction to Meditation Level 3. If you haven't, you can download a free copy from our website. So now let's move on to today's teaching. We got a lot to share. Today in our first class, we're going to learn the basics of an extraordinary method of meditation referred to as insight meditation. But before we get to that, let's review a little bit of what we covered in our previous program, just to get everybody up to speed. In our previous programs, plural, we shared the basics of meditation and mindfulness. We learned about the two aspects of awareness in our last class of focused attention and peripheral awareness, and how to engage with them, meditating deep and wide. And we also learned how to use our peripheral awareness to enhance our 3-breath meditation as well. And I hope everybody's been practicing their 3-breath meditation. And we learned the 2 types of distraction: subtle distraction and gross distraction, and various methods and techniques for working with them. Does anybody have any questions about our previous programs? Is everybody up to speed? I take it that everybody had a few weeks to dig into those and practice them. Everybody feeling confident about level 3? Good. And if anybody does have any questions, I'm here through the whole thing. I was curious how everybody's practice is going. All of you have been practicing for quite a few weeks now with us. Oh, excellent, excellent. Are you able to develop a consistent practice? Is it becoming a bit easier to meditate each day? Good. Tasha, did you have a question, please?
Yeah. How often can I use that 3-breath meditation? Can I use that all the way a lot throughout the day?
You sure can. And what I recommend is doing it at some key points of the day. Like I like to do it before a meal or after a meal. And then I like to do it between activities. Even when I'm writing, if I finish one little project, I'll do a 3 breath meditation before I start the next project, right? You can practice it. You can get in the habit. You want to make these habits. Get in the habit of, as soon as you sit in your car and you buckle up, you do a 3 breath meditation before you begin. Makes driving a lot easier, right? And so you can just use them all the time, or in stressful situations, right? We automatically kind of do it already, right? Have you caught on to that? Whenever we're stressed, whenever we have a problem, what do? We all take a couple breaths. Oh, so that's kind of normal. Um, oh, very good. Thank you, Christian. And so, as far as having a consistent practice, if you feel like you haven't really developed quite a consistent practice where you're meditating most days, but not all, this is something all practitioners kind of work with. At the beginning, it is kind of like that. If we set our goal on meditating every day, for most of us, we'll get 3 or 4 good days in. So that's really normal. When it changes is when you really start to have pleasant experiences of meditation, when you really start to get a taste of that freedom and peace and equanimity, that calmness. And then you start to really like it, right? You start to develop a love for that feeling. Then it becomes much different and much easier to meditate every day. I try to get about 4 meditations in a day, minimum. And even when I miss one and I only meditate 3 times, I notice a difference. And I notice that I'm not up to my A game, right? For me, I get a little kind of neurotic. I start to notice that little dramas kind of getting to me, things I would normally brush off. So I like that feeling of being calm through meditation. Oh, enough about me. He just goes on and on, that guy. Hey, let's get on to today's class. So, today let me think about what we're doing here. Let's begin by taking a look at the textbook presentation of insight meditation. So, as mentioned previously, there are 2 main forms of meditation. We have calm abiding, which we've learned, which is we've been practicing this for the last 2 classes. It's used to calm and stabilize the mind. And then we have insight meditation, which we're going to learn today. So insight meditation, as the name implies, is aimed at cultivating insight, understanding, and wisdom. It utilizes observation, contemplation, and analysis to actively examine concepts and ideas and experiences, all in the pursuit of wisdom. Insight meditation can include working with mental, emotional, or physical experiences. Simply put, insight meditation is contemplation within meditation. In calm abiding, our aim is to gain control over the thinking process. And I hope you've all gained a little control over that. But once a level of control has been achieved, you can then harness the power of that thinking within insight meditation. Ultimately, our aim, like all of our practices, is to awaken to our true nature. In most traditions, calm abiding is seen as preparatory, meaning calm abiding creates the foundation for the higher practice of insight meditation. In this practice, we begin by engaging in calm abiding to stabilize the mind. Once stabilized, you can then introduce an object of contemplation to begin your insight meditation. So this can be a word, a concept, or mental or physical sensation or experience, usually something related to your studies or practice, though you can introduce any topic you might be trying to resolve or understand. For example, let's use the word or concept change, pertaining to the changing of events, phenomena, or the world around us. The word change is placed in the mind, either by saying it silently or by visualizing it. Next, you simply sit with it. Often, after some time, the mind, by its own volition, will start to unravel the word, allowing for intuitive insight and understanding to arise. Other times, questions can be introduced like, why do things change? Or what is my relationship to change? If something interesting arises pertaining to our object of contemplation, you're free to explore, contemplate, or think about it. However, an important distinction must be made between our everyday style of thinking and thinking or contemplating within meditation. Commonly, our everyday style of thinking is often impulsive, scattered, and distracted, whereas a mindful style of thinking, when deep in meditation, is spacious and focused and objective. But more importantly, it's profoundly intuitive, arising from deep within our psyches. Through practice and experience, the difference between these two styles of thinking becomes clear and easily distinguishable. Both kinds of thinking have their benefits and place in our lives. What we are gaining in insight meditation is the freedom of choice, the freedom to choose where and when to use our common style of thinking, and when and where to utilize mindful thinking and benefit from its extra focus, clarity, and objectivity. You should see insight meditation as a creative, explorative, and intuitive practice. There are no strict guidelines. You're free to explore and experiment with the method. Sometimes a spacious approach is useful. Other times, a more active approach works best. So you merely play with your mind, searching for insight while learning how this meditation best works for you. With that said, why don't we bring it right into our first insight meditation, and we'll take questions afterwards. So when introducing new meditation techniques, instead of engaging in a single long meditation, I prefer to do a few short sittings. And this allows us to share insights and other instructions between the meditations. You can do long meditations at home, but here we just want to get a taste and explore them together. Today we're going to do two short meditations. Within both meditations, we'll start with calm abiding to stabilize our minds, and then move on to insight meditation. In our first meditation, we're going to meditate on the concept of change, like we just talked about. That'll be we call it an object of contemplation, right? So with that said, let's begin by muting our audio, taking our seats and getting comfortable. You guys are all pro meditators by now. You know the routine. Your hands can be placed on your thighs. Close your eyes, begin to relax while breathing naturally through your nose. Now take a moment to set your intention by reflecting on the importance of this practice. And next, look straight up at the ceiling and take 3 full breaths. When finished, you can lower your gaze. Now, starting at the top of your head, move your awareness down your body, releasing any tension you might find. Begin at your forehead. Soften and relax the area. Move down and soften your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth. Relax and soften your jaw, neck, and shoulders. Move down and relax your chest and stomach. Let your arms rest naturally. Relax your hips and legs. And lastly, let go of any tension in your mind and rest comfortably. And now on to our 7-point checklist. Number 1, posture. Sit in a comfortable yet alert posture, as if being drawn upwards by a string attached to the crown of your head. 2, hips. Roll your hips forward, accentuating the gentle inward curve of your lower back. 3, joy. Smile and begin to generate a pleasant and pleasurable mental state. 4, acceptance. Sit as an open observer without striving, without judgment, without concern. 5, equanimity. Use your breath to calm your mind, establishing an effortless contentment. 6, awareness. Become present while establishing a clear, alert, and bright mental state. And number 7, engage. Focus on your breath, switch on and let go. When ready, silently say the word meditating to begin your meditation. As you hold your focused attention on your breath, remain conscious of your peripheral awareness by being subtly aware of your body, senses, and the space around you. Recognize and note any gross distractions that pull you away from the breath. And now we'll do a few minutes of calm abiding before beginning our insight meditation. And now, while remaining in meditation, let's introduce our object of contemplation to begin our insight meditation. We'll be using the word or concept change. Begin by placing the word change in your mind, either by saying it silently or by visualizing the word. Next, simply sit with it. Often, after some time, the mind, by its own volition, will start to unravel the word, allowing for insight and understanding to arise. Other times, questions may arise or be introduced, like, why do things change? Or what is my relationship to change? If you find a thought or question that arises as interesting, you are free to explore and contemplate them. In this meditation, we simply sit, observe, and contemplate while waiting for insight, understanding, and wisdom to arise. If your mind wanders away, simply bring it back to our object of contemplation. Change. slowly begin to come back. Take a moment to observe how you feel. How was your first insight meditation? Good. So now the real test. Did anybody have insights come up during the meditation? Hence the name, Insight Meditation. Any insights? David, please share with me.
Yeah,
My apologies, David. I muted you by accident.
um, yeah, I can, when I get into a calm meditation state, that's lovely. If I try and follow the thought, the meditation feeling immediately disappears. So I find it impossible to hold the two at once. I could do
At
one at a
first, it's true. Oh, we're gonna give you some tools for experiencing that. But you're right. That's one of the big hurdles, right?
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Miss Tashi, please share with us.
Well, and I often, when we go through this, I often do this, is that I keep thinking of that saying that the only thing constant is change, and what that means and how things change and how people react. And I just kind of go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, that's a lovely insight.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Anybody else have any insights? And if you don't say anything, it means that all you did was sit there with a blank mind. That's not the goal of insight meditation. Mr. Ananda, please share.
I got to thinking about building on Toshi's idea there. Is change really a thing, or is it just an aversion or attraction to a mental construct that is changing itself on an instant basis?
Fascinating. It seems like to me, before there were any living things on the planet, the earth was constantly changing. That's my thought. I had a kind of a visualization that happened, and I imagined life and change just being this giant river that's just constantly flowing. But a river so wide you can't see the sides, almost like a flowing ocean river. And the idea is like everything we know is influenced by that and moving. Nothing is stationary, right? And in a sense, because of that, everything's a process. Everything's in a state of flow. Anyways, that's how insight meditation works. Miss Amala, please.
I wasn't successful. My restless leg is bothering me. So I wasn't able to get into insight meditation. The best I could do was just to stay as calm as I could
We
today.
have quite a few Sangha members with restless leg syndrome, and I get it myself, and it's no fun. So for today, just concentrate on getting the instructions down. Listen to it. We're going to be giving you a practice video as well at the end. So as you know, leg syndrome comes and goes. For me, it's a problem in the evenings. So I try to get all my meditations in earlier in the day. So just do the best you can today. Oh, Christian, please.
I just came up with two things during that meditation. One was that everything is temporary, everything, and that our lifetime is a time which is a man-made construct, and our lifetime is actually the blink of an eye.
It sure is. And that's excellent. That's very profound. And that shows me you had a successful insight meditation. So I think a lot of people that struggle with insight meditation, I think they overthink it. It's a very, very simple meditation. It's simply being calm in that state and just allowing yourself to kind of ponder, contemplate, think about a topic. It's actually very simple, right? Okay, with that said, I want to move along. I got lots of stuff to share with everybody. Um, when first learning this meditation, this goes to David's question. If you lose your meditative stability, which is that feeling of meditation, that calmness, that serenity, that peace, if you lose that, you can return briefly to calm abiding and the breath to stabilize your meditation. And then once stable, you can then return and try again in insight meditation. Insight meditation comes alive when we become fascinated or gain an epiphany about our topic of contemplation, at which point the mind becomes highly alert, energetic, and deeply focused, gaining a natural single-pointed concentration on the object of contemplation. This is a state of mind that is open, clear, inquisitive, and creative. A state of mind that produces profound insight, wisdom, and understanding into ourselves and our lives. So let's dig into our second meditation. In this meditation, we'll be using an emotion for our object of contemplation. Remember, you can use concepts, emotions, thoughts, desires, all kinds of things for this. And for this meditation, let's use the emotion or mental state of happiness. So again, let's begin by muting our audio, taking our seats and getting comfortable. Your hands can be placed on your thighs. Close your eyes, begin to relax while breathing naturally through your nose. And now again, let's take our 3 breaths. When finished, you can lower your gaze. And now our 3-point checklist. Sorry, 7-point checklist. I'm shortchanging you all. Posture, hips, joy, acceptance, equanimity, awareness, and engage. Focus on your breath, switch on and let go. When ready, silently say the word meditating to begin your meditation. Again, we'll begin with a few minutes of calm abiding before beginning our insight meditation. And now, while remaining in meditation, let's introduce our object of contemplation to begin our insight practice. In this meditation, we'll be using the emotion or mental state of happiness. Begin by placing the word happiness in your mind, either by silently saying it or by visualizing the word. And next, simply sit with it. Often, after some time, the mind, by its own volition, will start to unravel the word, allowing for insight and understanding to arise. Other times, questions may arise or be introduced like, what exactly is happiness? Or, is happiness really our ultimate aim? If you find the thought or question that arises are interesting, you're free to explore and contemplate them. Again, in this meditation, we simply sit, observe, and contemplate while waiting for insight, understanding, and wisdom to arise. If your mind wanders away, simply bring it back to our object of contemplation, happiness. slowly begin to come back. And take a moment to observe how you feel. How was your second insight meditation? Now you're all pros. Did anyone have any insights arise on our topic of happiness? I think Tashi did. She looks very happy. Any insights, folks? I know I did. Jose, please share.
Basically, what I thought about when I was meditating on happiness was the fact that it was possible, regardless of situation, regardless of circumstances that we might think are making us unhappy. It really goes back to the grasping, and it goes back to wanting and desiring things that are out of our reach. And really the key is to let go of all of that and just be content.
Brilliant insight. It sounds like you're really doing well in the practice. Christian says there is no such thing as happiness, which is an incredible insight. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's how insight meditation works. It gets our mental fluids going, right? Contentment and joy only. Oh, very nice. I think Christian's going to enjoy our Skillful Living program. Or maybe he's already read ahead. So, yeah. Anybody else have any insights? I know our dear friend Pasang here has some great insights into the experience of pneumonia. He's blacked out. He's sick right now. Poor guy. But he still came to class. There's loyalty. Man, oh man. How about, were you able to manage the two aspects of that calm abiding and then bringing insight meditation in? I know David mentioned that was a struggle. And guess what? You're just learning insight meditation. It takes time, right? So right now we're just trying to discern the difference between them. David, did that help at all, what we shared about that?
I don't know, but it was certainly easier than it was the first time. I think partly because the feeling of happiness from the breathing, from the calmness, kind of echoed with the actual concept of happiness. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's fascinating.
that was a lot better. Thank you.
Yeah, and so whenever you feel like you're losing that feeling of meditation, you can just go back to calm abiding, find that sensation again, and then come back into insight meditation. So we kind of oscillate the two. And then at some point, hopefully by the end of the week or so, you'll get the hang of it and you'll have a lot more success at just kind of being there, finding that balance between the two. Hey, that is excellent. I think I have an extraordinary class this time around. So, anyways, with that said, if there's no more comments or insights, let's move on to our closing thoughts. So, in today's class, we learned that insight meditation is simply contemplation or thinking within meditation. Easy, right? It's a practice that utilizes observation, contemplation, and analysis to actively examine concepts, ideas, and experiences in the pursuit of wisdom. Remember that insight meditation always begins with calm abiding. So this week, we are going to be shifting our daily practice to our new insight meditation. We'll continue to keep up our twice a day daily meditation schedule. And we'll be posting each morning a new topic of insight meditation to use in your daily meditation. I'll do that each day. And then we'll be posting a new practice video that you can use with the daily topic throughout the week. So the practice video, it doesn't share a topic in there. It just tells you when to share your topic, and you'll choose the topic of the day that I'll post each day. And so I want you all to have some fun and experiment with this new insight meditation technique and find out how it best works for you. It's important to remember that to get the most out of this program, and especially this level 3 program, you have to apply yourself and engage wholeheartedly with each week's technique to develop a basic understanding of how they work. For each technique we learn will be built upon the last. And we are going to lead you to some extraordinary meditation techniques by the end of this level 3 program. In next week's class, we're going to be learning a new form of insight meditation that focuses on body awareness, a method referred to as body scanning or vipassana. Vipassana is merely the Pali word for insight. For homework, please review insight meditation from our program text. And always remember that our instructors are just a click away for help and support. And please take advantage of our WhatsApp groups, sharing any thoughts you might have with our community and about our practice. And lastly, as you all know, although this program is free and always will be, our group does rely on donations to continue its work. So if you're enjoying the program and you'd like to ensure that it remains available to others, consider making a donation at sbtonline.org. So with that said, let's end today's class, as we always do, with our altruistic affirmation. May all be healthy, may all be prosperous, may all be well, may all be present, free of past regret and future worry. May all abide in constant appreciation, which is a source of great joy and contentment. May all realize their true nature and the true nature of reality, which is awakening. Thanks everybody for coming. I had a lot of fun. We'll see everybody tomorrow for our daily meditations. Remember that SBT offers, we do 3 online meditations that everybody's welcome to join in on. Keep your eye out each morning for the post of the insight topic that we're going to be working on on each day. And let's have a lot of fun and learn about insight meditation. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye, friends.